Jesus went hunting up in North Texas a few times this last week. I've been on this property for about 3 hours this evening, hadn't seen anything, went to leave, and there are hogs on the other side of the creek. This evening I'm going to be shooting at them with my Lone Star Armory TX15 multi-purpose carbine enhanced, shooting 6.5 Grindelhorn DSST 123 grain ammunition, and getting video through my IR Hunter MKIII. Now these hogs are in a hayfield on the side of a hill, and I'm in a downhill position looking uphill towards the hogs. I'd like to move to an uphill position, but that would put me crossing upwind of the hogs, and I don't want to do that. We have hunted hogs several times on this hillside, and typically they tend to run back towards the crest or the horizon of the hill, and so my shot opportunities are going to end up being quite limited if they do that again. Here in the speeded up video you can see where I'm trying to identify boars from sows, and I'm not having much luck in the higher grass. Some of the hogs are so small they're almost completely covered by the high grass, but I do end up spotting one that I think is going to be a sow, and that's going to be the one that I start with. Alright, here we go. Out of 3 shots, I think I've hit that hog twice, but it still manages to make it over the hill where it slows down, and I thought maybe it dropped right there, but I went and looked for it and I was not able to find it.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
So I came away with 1 hog, and it was a 125-pound sow. Over the course of the week I had 2 unproductive hunts on Wednesday and Thursday, but on Friday I have hogs in the field that I was watching originally on Monday night. So the hogs have finally shown up. And to make my approach, I'm going to head up the hillside in this direction to where those cattle are. They're going to move out of the way. And that's going to be my shooting position for the hogs that are down here that are also going to continue to move slightly uphill during the course of my stalk. This stalk is actually going to take quite a while, nearly 40 minutes. And I'm only going to move about 400 yards, and the reason why it's going to take so long is that the hogs are going to stay with the cattle during this time. And every time you see the image change here, I've moved to a different position, trying to get a better angle on the hogs. Sometimes I might get it into a position where I have a shot at 1 or 2, but not the rest. And then I have problems such as this. I've got dots that look like hogs that are calves, or sometimes they're even cattle. And this is going to be one of the better examples. I'm watching the hogs that are rooting here, and I'm going to pan over. Looks like I've got a nice hog in the distance beyond the cattle. I've got this hog up close, this one up close, and then I've got this one that turns out to be a cow. And it's got a little calf next to it. They're actually in a low spot behind a ridge, so they're in defilade from my point of view, and so they look a lot smaller than they really are. All the hogs that you've been seeing here with their heads down and butts up in the air are digging holes. And that cow goes after that group of hogs, and the hogs scatter. And I thought maybe my hunt was ruined at this point, but the hogs regathered again and are staying with the cattle. And if you missed it, I'm going to do that in slow motion and blown up. Look how much dirt this hog moves with one flick of its head. They can do a lot of damage in a short period of time. Slowly, the cattle are starting to move off. They're heading towards a large water tank in the distance. And finally, 37 minutes into it, I'm finally having some shot opportunities materialize. The cattle have moved off. They're in a couple of groups out in the distance. None of them are close. But I'm still going to have to be fairly selective in taking my shots. None of the cattle are visible in the viewfinder, but they are still downrange in certain locations. Alright, here we go. She goes down. There's a cow and a calf. Cattle over there, so these hogs are between the 2 groups of cattle. That one goes down. And I'm waiting for the hogs to clear the cattle. A little too much lead on that shot. Hits in front of the hog and the hogs get away. So I came away with a 130-pound sow and a 110-pound boar. Now he was a slow-moving target at the time, and I caught him on the turn, lined up for a nice headshot, and as can be seen on the exit side, right where I wanted it. Come Sunday, this is a property that I checked out earlier in the week after the landowner called and said that hogs had gotten into his winter wheat. And I did not see any that night, but I've come back, and the hogs are definitely there. I had actually gotten to arrive a little while earlier, got to check out some of the fields, noted some minor hog damage, and tracks of both medium and small size hogs across several of the fields. I've now walked down along the tree line, hiding from the moon in the shade of the trees, and using the trees as a windbreak. Now the hogs had come out from the right hand side. I'm expecting them to run back to the right after I start shooting, so I'm going to end up starting with a hog on the right hand side and hoping the hogs cross back into my line of fire. That's going to be a sow. And at this point I'm happy with my shooting position, but I am not happy with the ground that I'm standing on. It's uneven, and so I'm going to make some adjustments. And now I'm finally comfortable. The hogs haven't changed position too much. I'm going to start with the sow right here. Good hit, she goes down. That shot missed, but a hog goes down. Third shot connected. And the fourth shot was also in the dirt. The second shot hog makes it through the fence and into the woods and was not able to be recovered. So the last hog of this series was a 130-pound sow. Carpe sus, my friends.